Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Alrighty then, positive heads, here we go. It's a magical Monday again. So happy to be with you guys and have this opportunity to connect and share, grow, learn, discover, teach. Let's see, did I forget anything? Ponder, throw in some ums and buts and hmms out loud into the microphone here with you guys. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Yeah, you get the idea. All right, let's jump in. I'm going to start with a review on iTunes today. You guys know I love my iTunes reviews. Not only do they help us to reach new eternal beings in bio bodysuits, but they also help to fuel my fire to continue this labor of love that is the Positive Head podcast. And yeah, if you haven't reviewed on iTunes, I would be really grateful if you did. If not, that's okay too. I'll still love you. But I really love Funk Soul today because Funk Soul said this podcast is continuing to change my world. Continuous to change my world. Continuous. Potato. Thank you, Brandon, for your continuous effort in sharing your passion and creating this amazing platform. As you said today, energy comes from love, and it shows that you have a lot of love to share. I randomly found this podcast years ago as I was looking for something to push me along, and every time I come back, I receive confirmation that we are all on the right path. Thank you for helping me make the connections, and I love the music choices too. Keep the fire going. Awesome. Thank you, Funk Soul brother, Funk Soul sister, for taking the time to review. It's really easy to put out love to the world when you understand that what you put out comes back. So yeah, it just makes it really easy to be loving to that person who maybe it's difficult to typically be loving to, or in a situation that's typically challenging to you. When you take on the perspective, hold on, if I shift my perspective to open my heart instead of closing my heart, right? Checking in with myself, is the valve opened or closed? And all goodness comes from the valve, the heart being opened. And of course, the heart physically has valves, right? And so it makes a lot of sense. There's an energetic valve. It is the energetic valve. And if it's closed, guess what? I am not only feeling not great in that moment, but I'm also sort of determining what can come through in the future. So all signs point to open the heart. And so, yeah, it's getting easier and easier. And I know it's getting easier for you guys too. So let's see. Before we jump into today's topic, little bit of business. Today is the first day of our 40-day transformation, 10-day metabolic reset we're going to be doing. Today it's June 4th. On June 11th, we're going to be starting the metabolic reset. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's the shakes taste really good, and there's over 50. I think there's close to 60 of us that are participating. And so we're going to be posting each day in the Facebook group. We'll just do one thread. So we don't want to bomb the Facebook group. By the way, if you're not on the Facebook group, it's Positive Heads with an S. It's a private group where a bunch of amazing P heads are connecting, sharing, loving each other up, asking questions, meeting up in person. It's wonderful. So what we're going to do in the group for everyone who's participating in this 40-day plan, if you will, we're going to post one thread each day. So day one, maybe it'll be a Facebook Live video with Tala and Ima are going to be helping to run the whole thing. They're the experienced P heads they've been through this. So they're going to be helping to run it. And so I'll be on some of the the live broadcasts that we do. And some days it'll just be a post or, a thought or, hey, what are you guys experiencing today? So for those of you who want to peek in and sort of, be voyeurs and watch, what everyone's experiencing and maybe some grumpy days or whatever it is. You can do that without there being tons of posts in the Facebook group. It'll be one thread each day that, all of us who are participating can comment and respond and ask questions and whatever to each other within that thread. So make sure you're on Facebook if you're, participating in the cleanse with us. Make sure you're on Facebook and join Positive Heads. And that way you can also see what everyone else is going through and connect with everyone else, or just watch and kind of read and listen, whatever. If you want to send something private, you can send it to purium@positivehead.com. That's PURIUM@positivehead.com. And any questions or thoughts or whatever, you can send there directly, and we'll get back to you. Also, for those of you who still haven't participated, haven't joined, but maybe want to, it's not too late, because we're not going to start the actual 10 days for another week. So you could definitely get your products in time to take them along with the rest of us. And even if it's after that date, you don't have to do it on the exact same schedule as the rest of us. So if you want to check out, the links where to get the stuff and all that, or even learn more, you can hear my interview with the co-founder of Purium, Dave Sandoval, as well as a webinar Tala and Ima and I did last week at positivehead.com/Purium, PURIUM. You use code POSITIVEHEAD and you get 25% off as well when you're buying the product. So yeah, there's that. And now that we got that out of the way, I will jump right into today's episode, today's topic. So interesting, synchronistically, I was just about to record a few minutes ago, and then I had the sudden urge for bathroom break before I turned on the microphone. So I ran into the restroom, and as I'm known to do, catch up on emails in the restroom. Sometimes I'll be standing at the stall and I'll realize there's someone waiting, and I'm like, oh, I'm just standing here and just reading something. But anyway, so right before I was about to record, I get a note from the universe. I'm like, oh, I'm reading that. I decide I'll read it, and they come sporadically and they're awesome. And this one says, can you imagine an astral plane somewhere out there, Brandon, where very old souls rendezvous to practice and perfect their most highly developed manifestation techniques? A members only kind of place where whatever they think about comes to life in the most vivid colors and sounds and as the most intricate plots and circumstances. Where the only limits that exist lie in the ability to imagine what they've never before imagined and move with it in anticipation of its physical expression. And best of all, being astral, no harm can come to them. They're completely untouchable. Nothing is real, yet everything matters. And there can be infinite gains in terms of insight and fun, yet no losses since everything is illusory. Actually, the scariest thing that can happen is that they temporarily become so entranced by their creations, they completely forget who they are, where they are, and how powerful they are. Yep, it's exactly like the astral plane. Tally ho, the universe. And actually, this, I just realized this is really appropriate that the note from the universe came in. I'm realizing right now, because we're going to define the universe here in a little bit. And then at the very bottom, there's a little kind of PS. Brandon, PS, you have so much to look forward to! Exclamation point. So that was just perfect, because what I want to talk about is faith versus fear, and the definition of the universe today. And so creating our reality, right? As this note from the universe synchronistically landed in my face just before I turn on the mic here. We talked about fear and intuition on last Thursday's episode 698. And, what was interesting that morning I recorded. And then, so my day typically is, recording, getting up, recording, going to my office with my travel company and working there and, then coming home and sometimes working more, sometimes not. So, et cetera. And so yesterday, last Thursday on that episode, I recorded, if you recall, we talked all about fear and intuition and that sort of thing. Great episode, great clip that we shared. So little did I know that day. So I'm at the office a few hours later, and now my brother is my business partner. Some of you with the travel company, I've mentioned many times before. So our company is growing a lot. As you guys who've been around a while know, I had a travel company years ago. They got to be an Inc. 500 and something fastest growing private company in the U.S. and then kind of got hit by an asteroid, as I like to put it. And, out of the ashes of that, we started a new travel company a couple of years ago. Well, now it's starting to really, really take off. And so we are looking to, we're outgrowing our little office. Our little office is pretty cool. It's actually 1,777 square feet. So we're looking at an office that's like, over 4,000 square feet to grow. And of course, it like triples the cost because it's a much nicer office too. And so we've been going back and forth for like a month. Like I've never seen my brother so indecisive, and I'm just kind of along for the ride. In some ways, I'm like, I could go either way. I'll let you kind of ultimately decide. I think he'll end up being there day to day a lot longer than I will. So, for that reason, I'm sort of letting him make the final decision. And so we kind of have gone back and forth, and we decided we would hold off. We don't want to overextend ourselves too quickly with the new office. A week ago, and meanwhile, with sales with the company. It's been slower the last few weeks, like slower than it has been for months. Well, we decided on Thursday, hours after talking about fear and everything versus intuition, we got into a conversation about faith versus fear. And I was like, look, I have total faith. This thing has so much potential. Like we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg. We need this space. It's a beautiful spot. And like, it's going to be much easier attracting like high level talent, executive type talent that we really need to take this thing to its, highest expression in the world. So, let's just do it. And so we decided, after a month of deliberation, a week or so ago, nope, we're not going to do it, to on Thursday afternoon, let's do it. I trust the universe. We're not going to overextend. It's going to be cool. Yes, the rent is, almost $15,000 a month or whatever, but no problem. Like, it's so much abundance flowing in, right? So, literally at the time we make that decision, all of a sudden our whole there's about 12 employees currently, and a lot of them salespeople, start going banana sandwich. I mean, so many sales started coming in right then. We had a run that day, the next day, even Saturday, where it's just been like by far in the 2 years the company's been around, where it's the most sales that have happened. At the exact same time, we were in our office behind a closed door deciding to go with faith instead of fear. All of a sudden, what happened? The energy completely opened up. And it was really interesting. Of course, I connected the dots on that. And so I wanted to just share that. And, and then I had an extension of that going on. I had seen at an abundance event maybe a month and a half ago or so in Los Angeles. There was, live painting. Visionary artist was there live painting, and I loved his piece. Actually, if you guys go to my Instagram, which is optimistic, by the way, spelled with a 0, PTIMYSTIC. Follow me on there. Oh, in Positive Head. I never throw that out there. There's a Positive Head Instagram, +head. Anyway, if you go to the optimistic, with a 0 page and follow me, you can see this art piece. It's beautiful. It's like it's a representation of the the demiurge, which is, Plato's figure that is the artisan-like figure responsible for fashioning and maintaining the universe. So, another little synchronicity tie-in since we're going to be talking about the definition of the universe. Okay, so cool. The synchronicities keep stacking up today. Didn't really think of this connection. So the demiurge art piece is just beautiful. This guy, I won't use his name now, but that the artist is creating. And I said, oh man, I love it. Let me know when it's done. I'd be interested in possibly purchasing it. So he contacts me, maybe a few days ago and says, hey, it's done now. And, I'm like, cool. Wow. This is incredible. It's so beautiful. I'd love to have this hanging next to me in the studio. This entity, this energy seems like really resonant with me. And, so how much for it? Well, it's originally going to be, $11,100 or something. And then now, it took me not as long as I thought. So I'm going to do it for $7,777. And so another little connect there, man, it never ends. I for some random reason gave you guys a square footage of our office, which is 1,777, right? Anyway, this person contacts me and they're like, look, basically what I tell them is I'd love to buy it, but I'm not going to drop $7,000 right now. My company's growing a ton and, I don't have the money accessible to spend that frivolously on art as much as I like the idea of being a fountain of abundance flowing through and, supporting an artist and everything. And he said, well, you know what, we could maybe work out a payment plan. I'm like, oh, cool. I'd be open to that, and just pay it off fully within a year or something. No big deal. And so we get on a conversation and he basically is like, yeah, I had a bad experience in the past and I'm not really comfortable. Like giving you the piece. I could give you a print and then after you've paid it off, then give it to you. And so, what was happening in that moment is he was taking a bad experience in his past and he was, having a fearful, feeling, which is justifiable from his perspective, that maybe I would get it and never pay him and he couldn't recover it or something like that. And, so I took it as an opportunity to say, look, let me just point out what's happening here. It's faith versus fear. I just went through I actually didn't even share the story of the office that had just happened to me. I shared my former business experience story being kind of burned by partners and how now I still have complete trust and I haven't let that shut me down. And what happens is your heart can get closed, right? After you have this type of experience. So, I had a long conversation with him yesterday, just kind of saying, look, what I challenge you to do is trust me and believe that the universe wants to support you and believe that, I'm not here to steal anything from you. I mean, you can kind of see who I am publicly. You can go read my reviews on iTunes or wherever and see I'm not in the business of stealing visionary art. I don't think that would ultimately lead to a good place for me in any way energetically. And so we had a long conversation and I really tried to shift him to, hey, okay, I'll do it. I'll support your art and I'll take on this very expensive piece as a payment commitment and everything like that. But I need you to trust me. I don't want the print. I want the piece. And, at the end of the conversation, he was, like, let me think about it. But I don't think so. I just got to, and I was like, well, I just want to get you to consider the idea that you protecting in that way out of fear isn't necessarily going to lead you to the result you're seeking from protecting yourself, right? It's basically saying, I don't trust the universe. I think someone's out there to get me. And like I said, it's understandable. No judgment at all in this. It's a great example of, very similar to the office story I just shared. Oh, are things about to go crazy with all the potential? Oh, what if they don't go good? And we, and fear that we can't, afford that big monthly payment or whatever, right? And so we moved into faith and bam, just a huge valve of abundance opened up. And that's what I was trying to share with him. And I wish I had shared the office story that was even more fresh. I didn't. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he'll listen to this. But so in the end, he's thinking about it, but it sounded like he probably wasn't going to do it. And, amazing guy, amazing artist, super cool. Wish him all the best. And who knows, maybe I'll still hear from him. I suggested him asking for a sign. It's like, and if he gets that sign, take it as a sign to heed my advice and trust, faith, because the reality is, I mean, if for some reason I couldn't pay him, which wouldn't be a problem with our payment arrangement. If for some reason I would never keep the piece, he could come get it anytime, or I'd deliver it to him or whatever. But anyway, so I thought that was a really cool, share that with you guys, what I've dealt with, this faith versus fear, in my own life, how it opened up abundance with my office, how then I dealt with it with this artist, he sort of, at least for now, I might still hear from him. Who knows? I'll let you guys know if so. He's leaning more towards the fearful, reserved approach. And, my belief is the problem with that is that closes off abundance. It's coming from a place of, I don't trust. And really the universe is here to help us all. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, life is about choices, and hovering in the middle can be extremely frightening. Remember, once you make a decision, the universe will conspire to make it happen, but you must choose. Paulo Coelho said, when you want something, all the universe conspires to help you achieve it. It's here to help you. It's here to serve you. It loves you. Love is the predominant force. Abundance is the dominant force of existence. Anytime we make a choice that's outside of believing that, and with every cell of our being, it doesn't mean to make a foolish choice. In the case of my office, for example, it was a very calculated faith-based decision. The reality is there's so much abundance flowing in with what that company is on its way to becoming is like, and that what that, obligation financially represents is like a drop in the bucket, Same with this, if this artist were to have taken the approach of, I am the abundant. If someone wants to take something from me, there's only more behind it. I can charge not 7,000 for my paintings. I'll be able to charge 77,000 because so much resonance with my value keeps going up, and faith in the universe keeps going up. And this is the energy we want to get into. This is the energy we all want to move into. And it doesn't mean we're there right away. And, if you feel you need to be guarded, then be guarded. Then that's the right choice. You're going to get the energetic repercussions of that. And it's okay. It's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. There is no bad, right? But if you really want to attract abundance, faith is an important element, I believe. In my case, I intend to attract a lot of abundance. I've been very fortunate thus far in my human journey, and I'm really just getting warmed up. And it's not going to come from being suspect that someone's out to get me. It's going to come from trusting. And I may even get burned here or there, whatever. Great. You want to take something from me? Here's 10 more behind it. I am abundance. We all are. And moving into that is crucial to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of ourselves, if that is indeed what we want to be, this abundant expression of source. There's all kinds of options to us that we can choose that are different than that too, and that's fine as well. But for me, that's where I'm going. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty sure I know about you guys. We all want that, right? But we got to be willing to put our money where our mouth is, so to speak, right? And speaking of, how this all works and understanding how the universe works and, the general goodness that is the universe, I do have a short clip here I want to share from Abraham. The universe is happy to support you, it's called. It's from the Eternal Joy YouTube page. Take a listen.
I have one more question. In many of the explanation that you provide, you say that the whole universe will come into the process of attraction.
Wait. Yeah. We want to make sure that you don't say we say something we don't say.
All universal forces will basically work with you to manifest.
Everything necessary to bring to you all that you are asking for will come to you. We just wanted to make sure that you weren't thinking, as some often do, that if you get really good at alignment, then you'll be able to control the world and they'll all do what you want them to do. Not like that. Not like that. You just won't be bothered by those varieties.
This was a question asked by a friend of mine. All I wanted to ask was, what is the definition of the universe?
Well, what we're talking about is all cooperative components. And those cooperative components, this powerful law of attraction that is simply the manager of frequencies. And when you take the time to tune your frequency, then things of the same frequency find one another.
So from non-physical perspective, this is the definition of the universe?
You want a definition of the universe or a definition of law of attraction?
Definition of the universe.
When we use the word universe, we mean, and it isn't nearly a big enough word, we mean all vibrational frequencies. All vibrational frequencies, which means all points of focus, which means all potential rendezvous.
Of everything.
Every thought that has ever been thought still exists, and that is the universe in the way that we mean it.
I understand, thank you.
But there's more to the story, because everything that has ever been thought still exists. And as you come into this environment and you specifically come to your own conclusions, you send a rocket that the larger part of you joins. And that's not the entire universe. Let's go here. This is a wonderful thing. Because we want you to feel how over time, and time isn't the right word, over experience, over lifetimes, over consciousness's exposure to experience, that preferences have been born, and that source holds steady to the goodness that is born out of those preferences. Source is this very general vibrational frequency of well-being that is so consistent. In other words, it's like the vibration of love as compared to the vibration of an opinion about a color or a food. It's the vibration of love. It's this general vibration that holds steady, so that when you are sifting through the data of your experience, you are never confused in the vibrational relationship between the thought that you're thinking in this moment and the trueness of who Source is. So in all of this universal vibration that has existed beyond anything that we can define with words that are meaningful, in all of this vibrational beingness, there has become a carving out of well-being that remains dominant, that is the central core. It is that from which we all come forth from. And that goodness in its generalness just continues to expand in its specifics. Best we've ever said it, and so satisfying to do so. So why would you, any of you who are source energy, pure, positive energy, goodness, worthiness, knowledge, why would you expose yourself to more life? Because in the carving out of more life, there's the exposure to more contrast and the expansion of more goodness. So that which is source, or that which is the universe, continues to expand. So the universe is constantly expanding with wanted and unwanted. And we would like to say to you, it is expanding with equal wanted and unwanted. But what is carried on from lifetime to lifetime, what is maintained by the source within you, is the goodness that you have come to, you see. Making sense?
Absolutely.
So, talking about how all, the law of attraction, our law of attraction is the manager of frequencies, right? The universe defining it. I love how this is broken down here. It's really, really powerful to understand this conceptually. Universe is, all vibrational frequencies, all points of focus, all potential rendezvous are all there. That is, it's the, all the things, all the thoughts, all the experiences exist. Everything that has ever been thought still exists. over experience, lifetimes, consciousness. Consciousness is exposure to experience. This is what's going on, right? And I love the definition of source as what's holding steady to the goodness born out of preferences made over eternity. It's the general frequency of well-being and love. And this is what's the dominant, you know, and if you're ever wondering if you are acting in alignment with your higher self, right? The expanded version of yourself, the higher self, source, oversoul, whatever you want to call it, right? It's just nested dolls here. And what our aim is in physicality, in my opinion, a very strong opinion, is to call in more of our higher self and let it live through us. And it's a merging that's happening, a melding. And so if you want to ever know if you are in alignment with it and living in its eyes, it's looking through your eyes and it's, you know, vibrationally aligned with it, you never are confused between what your thought is and what source is, because if it's outside of a general frequency of well-being, love, trust, faith, all those things, you know you have moved out of alignment with how your higher self exists and experiences. You know, and basically she goes on here to say the carving out of well-being is dominant. It's the central core. It's the main theme. It's a central core from which we all birthed from. So why would you ever, that is the founding father, mother. That is the thing that gave rise to you, like the demiurge coming out into existence to create. It springs from that core goodness, the general frequency of well-being and love. So if we're ever resonating with anything that's outside of that, guess what? We are, we have disconnected from our higher self. And as a result, we experience more limited experiences that aren't in alignment with how higher self experiences reality. And why we come here? Well, you know, why we leave that? Because we just continue to expand in its specifics. You expose yourself to more contrast so that you can have more experience. So sources can have more experience. This is how it happens. This is the holiday that you're on. This is the journey that you're on. You're going to go back and you get to expand it more, take it further. You're on the leading edge. You've always been the adventurer. You want to push the envelope a little further. And the reality, though, it's a permanent holiday. It is a permanent holiday that you're on. You can't lose this thing. You're here having fun. Bring lightness, bring joy, bring faith, expose your heart, be willing to lose it, be willing to break your heart in that next love affair. Always don't close down. If the heart's closed, the energy's cut off. That is the source of all energy of all kinds. If the heart is open, then you become a fountain, and you want to become a fountain. So if any thought, action is closing the heart, be aware and shift the decision, the thought, the action, so that the heart is open, and watch the abundance just flow more into your life. You are the source that creates and animates all things. You are infinitely abundant. There is nothing to fear when you are what you are. You can't lose. Like the note from the universe said, you can't lose. Stop. The only thing you can do is pretend to lose by resonating with fear instead of faith. All right. I set you guys up. Yeah, it's true. The song I'm going to play is called Permanent Holiday. It's by Mike Love. I met him a few weeks ago when he was here at the observatory near my house. And first person I ever come across who's wearing a Yaming Zhu. And you guys heard my story about the Yaming Zhu recently, which, you know, the magical stone. I think it's on episode 2. It's also... I don't know, one of the episodes kind of recently where I talked about the magic jacket and a lot of cool magic that unfolded. So, it was cool. I met Mike after his set, and then I just like, oh, dude, is that a Yaming Zhu? He's like, oh, yeah, I just got it. And I'm like, oh, wow, I've never run across anyone else wearing one. And I was wearing mine at the time, too. So anyway, Mike Love is an amazing artist. Originally saw him at Envision Festival last February, and then he was playing near my house a few weeks ago. And really, really great track here. This is called Permanent Holiday, Mike Love. Hope you guys enjoy your holiday in eternity, floating in love, and feel upheld and joyous as you go about your magical Monday. Till next time, journey well. Love you all so, so much. Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
Eyes and see they're manipulating we with so much uncertainty and so many mysteries. Why are so few questioning the unnatural state of things? It's a nightmare. We're living in a nightmare. Everyone's living so scared. They're virtually unaware of this fear that rules their lives, occupies, consumes their minds. This fear of bankruptcy, financial impotency. It's money. It's all this digital currency, oh yeah. It's all this monopoly money that keeps us from ever being free, oh. So it seems we'll be in this prison for life. 'Cause if we keep buying, then they'll keep selling the lies. So it's up to I and I. Nip, mind, in, I, rev, make, sell, I, change, man, words, I, be, I, own, I, be, nip, like, mind, show, in, take, I, seek, rev, lash, make, life, sell, break, I, be, change, seek, manifest, words, speak, I, fuse, be, press, I, make, own, sit, I won't be manipulated, mind control, and in and take that I will seek a revelation, make my life a celebration, I will be the change I'm seeking, manifest the words I'm speaking, I refuse to be impressed, and I will make my own. I wanna be manipulated. manipulated, mind controlling, inundated. I will seek the revelation, make my life a celebration. I will be the change I'm seeking, manifest the words I'm speaking. I refuse to be imprisoned, I will make my own decisions. I'm on a permanent holiday, I'm going outside to play. I ain't gonna slave away. That one I'm conquering Babylon, I'm never gonna be a part of their manipulation games. I'm taking the reins and breaking the chains, I'm never gonna kneel away. My prophet is heaven sent, no preacher or president gonna lead you astray. One never know, you're thinking the highway, oh God. I'll never go astray. One na 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 na. I'm living the past, the perfect the past, the freedom is here to stay. Lord, we got to take back the knowledge. We got to take back the power. We got to take back the knowledge. We got to take back the power. We got to take back the knowledge. We got to take back the power. Take back what they have stolen from our hearts. And we got to take back the esoteric knowledge. Oh Lord, for too long they've been keeping us apart. Oh yeah, we got to take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Take back the knowledge. Take back the power. Humanity, don't let this be our final hour. Got to take back the knowledge or take back the power.